Thank you very much, Ms. Cano. And the final comment will come from Angela Vidal Granda. She's a former National Secretary for the Family at the Ministry of Women, Family and Human Rights in Brazil. She's a member of the Brazilian Academy of Philosophy and the Sao Paulo Academy of Legal Letters, and has been visiting professor and researcher in philosophical legal anthropology at Harvard University. She's currently the president of the Yves Granda Institute of Law, Philosophy and Economics. Mrs. Granda, the floor is yours.
En primer lugar, voy a cumplimentar a todos en la persona de José Antonio, Cast y Lola, agradeciendo por esta oportunidad y por este evento maravilloso que nos hace pensar tanto y pensar en lo que podemos hacer. Y también a mis amigas, partners, que luchamos juntas hace muchos años, pero voy a hablar en inglés. Sorry. So I also bring good news. Although we almost don't know anymore what are rights and what is human, we can't underestimate the capacity of the human being to be human. Although many try to reduce human values to a moral, religious topic, as a professor of philosophy of law, I can tell that they are social, political values. They are real, they are empirical, and they are universal. Although we see a lot of activism, not only in the National Congress, but also in the Supreme Courts mainly, most of the constitutions of the world, I would say 95 or 98% in the world, defend fundamental rights as the basis of a rule of law, Estado Democrático de Derecho. As we could see in the Amici Curiae, I was one of them in the overturn of Roe versus Wade, showing clearly that there's no right, no international right to abortion. No, although some soft laws or the court, the Inter-American Court tries to bring it, fighting the rule of law, the sovereignty of each state. Well, but more than talk about threats, I would do as my soul sister Valerie, and I brought solutions, but not only, big solutions, but simple human solutions that I am experiencing, and all of us can reach them. So I was in the government of Brazil, and we defended values, pro-life, pro-family, and thanks be to God, we went to all our districts, 5,720 districts all over Brazil. And our public policies are still on for family, for life, and etc. But things changed in the nation, but people not. And we are facing, fortunately, noticing the strength of civil society. When we awake them, we have to awake them. So I can see all over the country, since small initiatives in the internet, for example, in Instagram, social media, to strengthening family bonds, freedom of speech, with millions and millions of followers, till what we've just seen a month ago, when the Supreme Court, our Supreme Court, decided to judge the right to abortion virtually, in a virtual judgment. The nation raised to fight for life, and they had to step back. They had to go back. And meanwhile, we are helping people to be aware of what's going on with lives, with events, with seminars, to put people aware. Okay, so I think the first solution is to involve people, give information and information. This is very important. Like this event, for example, achieve lots of hearts, achieve lots of minds. Each heart and mind are important, is a victory. And people get stronger, and they don't see themselves as ETs, alone. They are there, being stimulated to fight also as we just said that in the panel. No? I have an institute, Gándra, of law, philosophy, and economics. And we just reflect, read, and we are all over the country. And we read, reflect, and we don't nudge people to think like us, but we just make them reflect and then go for action. Lots of young people go in for action as well, right? And also help people to exercise their citizenship. We are having a turn in our it's a movement in our country, to have this awareness of citizenship, to demand their representatives. So the people are knocking on the doors of their representatives for education, for to fight hypersexualization, drugs, public policy for the family, homeschooling even, because we're not allowed to homeschool in Brazil, for example. No. So, and the last thing is to turn the human being as the absolute value. What I mean by that? No, all the declaration focus the human dignity. And today we have an agenda of sustainability that makes the planet know the absolute value and not the human being. It's a means for the human being, but it's not an end itself. So I think I also teach as a professor of law. No, I teach on sustainability of relationships. What for? A planet for those who don't go along well or fight themselves through wars. No, so we have to strengthening family bonds, for example, this way. And I chose right now that I'm working for the Federation of Agriculture of São Paulo. And I'm helping the agribusiness. Why? No, it's not a propaganda of that. But I see, in Brazil, we have a lot of space, a lot of land to give food for the whole world. And food security is also a human right. And the agribusiness, it helps to protect the property. We're having right now invasions of productive lands. Protect the family, it departs from the family, the freedom, the cooperation, the solidarity, and even they say the fate, because the agro depends on the weather conditions, right? But I think this is a second human right. The first is to be born, no, and the second is to keep the life, to be fed, I mean. So I have also this focus in real problems like starvation, poverty, no, and we could change the agenda for real problems, education, and not all the things we create like reproductive rights or whatever, no, and we miss this point that is so important, no, and the last thing is, sorry, in my federation, the agriculture of São Paulo, that is the strongest in Brazil, the motto is plant peace, cultivate peace, and the harvest will be peace. No, so I guess also through work, family, and all these rights we can defend. No, departing from family, we can have the relations from the family go beyond. No, we can defend this peace. And the last thing I say, to defend human values, to defend human rights, we can't have an anti-human attitude. I don't think we can fight each other. No, that's why I talk about peace. We have to talk. No, we have to build a dialogue, understand why people don't think the way we do, no, and form people so that we can have this peace that is also a human right all over the world. Thank you.